Welcome, history fanatics, to Mrs. Heron's video playlist, where you will get the best of the best in social studies.
I have heard their cry, and I will deliver them to a land flowing with milk and honey.
The people who lived south of Phoenicia were called the Israelites. Their story begins in Mesopotamia, where they lived as sheep herders and merchants. Up until this time, it was typical for people to worship more than one god. However, one man changed all of this forever. When a person believes in one god, it is called monotheism. Just like when a person believes in multiple gods, it is called polytheism. Mono is Greek for one, and as you may remember, theism is Greek for God. Abraham, the founder of today's three main world religions, received a divine message from Yahweh, or God, in Christianity.
Leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all peoples on earth will be blessed through you.
God promised Abraham that he would make the Israelites a great nation, but Abraham would need to lead his people out of Mesopotamia and start over in Canaan, which was very far away. It meant that the Israelites would have to trust Abraham and believe in only one God, even when things got difficult. Look at the location of Canaan. What is it wedged between? Two vast deserts, the Sinai and the Syrian. This made it difficult for Israelites to trade with other nations. Thus, they had to rely on trade overseas using the Mediterranean Sea. And things did get really difficult in about 1800 BC. A famine had spread across the land of Canaan, forcing the Israelites to relocate to Egypt. A famine is a period of time when people have very little food to eat and often are at risk of starvation. The Israelites did prosper for the next 600 years in Egypt, but when an Egyptian pharaoh enslaved the nation of Israel, that's when things took a turn for the worse.
Moses, Ramesses, you grew up together, close as brothers. Keep each other safe. Always.
Something's wrong. You've always felt it.
Your parents never told you the truth.
What truth?
The year of your birth, there was a prophecy that our leader would be born to liberate us.
That leader is you, Moses.
After 400 years of slavery, things here have become much worse. As your brother, you must set them free.
Is that a threat?
Yes!
I want Moses and his family dead.
What is the most important thing in your life?
You are. And when will you leave me?
Never.
Let's just see who's more effective at killing.
You.
Or me.
Is it meant to humble me? Because it will not!
I came to tell you something is coming that is far beyond you and I. This is about Egypt's survival, do you understand?
Who has been telling you this?
God.
I'm a god.
I am a god! And you will be free!
We're going to recapture 400,000 slaves.
We're not recapturing anyone.
There is a sea ahead and an army behind! Ready yourselves!
beginning of this lesson described the exodus of the enslaved Israeli people out of Egypt and back to Canaan. Following the will of God, a young man named Moses led the Israelites through the Sinai Peninsula for the next 40 years. According to the Bible, this is where God presented Moses with the 10 Commandments. They were the code that God chose for his people to follow, much like those that Hammurabi granted to the Babylonians in 1600 BC. At long last, the Israelites found Canaan and began to build their great nation. After many wars and fighting in this sacred land, eventually Canaan was completely overtaken by the Israelites. God granted great leaders to the nation of Israel, the first of which was King Saul. He led Israel to obtain new land and defend those they already owned. Israel united under the wise rule of their second king, David. He brought the 12 Israelite tribes together to form one strong nation. King David also established the capital city of Jerusalem, which would later hold great significance to the people of Israel. David's son, Solomon, took over his father's throne after King David's death. Solomon expanded this kingdom through extensive trade. The Israelites became known for their olive oils, honey, fruits, vegetables, and grain. Solomon also expanded Israel's trade overseas, gaining over 13 tons of gold in just one voyage alone. Check out King Solomon's temple. He built it around 1000 BC. It was huge, glorious, expensive, all until the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar destroyed it in 586 BC. Israelites used this temple to worship in Jerusalem. When King Solomon died, Israel divided into 2 kingdoms, Israel in the north and Judah in the south. The northern kingdom of Israel collapsed in 722 BC at the hands of the Assyrians. To make matters worse, they decided to punish the Israelites through exile. When you exile, it means people get put out of their homes into another country by force. 135 years later, the Judeans were also exiled when their kingdom fell to the Chaldeans.